Hello everyone, welcome to programtalkies.com and it's me Roshan Shrestha. On our previous tutorial we write down our first program in C. If you guys are still wondering what on earth is this particular statement, then please kindly visit that previous tutorial or just go to File, New Project and select the console application, press Go, and we will be definitely opting for C programming, and we'll be giving some project title, then next, then choose GNU GCC compiler, then debug and release will be checked and finished. Then you'll be provided with this particular contents. Here, go within this folder way and navigate to main.c and you'll be here. So if we build and run this particular program, there will be content within printf, that is hello world. Now let's try to populate it with some more contents, and just to let you know that from this video onwards we'll try to speed up a bit. Okay, so brace yourself buddies. Printf, okay, here is some new contents, and semicolon is used for, wow, it's typo. Content, semicolon is used for telling it about our point of termination. Here, when you compile and run this program, what will happen is this particular statement will display hello world, and this will obviously display some new contents. Build and run. Okay, on this output, hello world is displayed here. Then there is some new contents on next line. It's all because of the use of this particular /n. It's used whenever we need to place the contents in new line feed. /n for next line. Similarly, there are some other stuffs like /t. Whenever we put backslash in front of some of the characters, then it escapes from the sequence in which it's processing. So that's why these are termed as escape sequence. N standing for next line and T standing for tab. That is whenever we need to provide some space or gap, we'll be using this particular /t. Let's try to build and run. Okay, awesome. Hello world is here, then there is some new contents, but here we are getting some gapping or space. It's all due to the effect of /t. These are escape sequence. Up to this point, it's pretty much a useless program, to be brutally honest, because nobody will come to our program to see hello world, some new contents. So let's try to write some useful programs like let's say calculate the addition of 10 and 20, and it's 30. Obviously all these numbers 10, 20 and 30 are integer numbers. So at first, before doing any processing, we need to ask our system for allocating space for storing these particular numbers. In this particular case, 10, 20 and 30 are integer numbers, so we'll be writing int a. By writing this particular line int a, I am asking my system that please provide me a space to store an integer number and name that as a. This int is termed as data type and a is variable, that is its value can change. Similarly, let's ask for another space and name that as b, and another one is c. Now we are provided with 3 space. Our space allocation has been done. Now let's tell our system to store 10 on that particular place and 20 is the value of b and c equals 30. Now we'll ask our system to calculate and perform those operations for us. Now here 10 and 20 has been provided, and now we are asking this system to do the required calculations, that is summation a and b. Now let's try to display the content. Here one new thing would be introduced, which are termed as format specifiers. That is, we need to tell our system what sort of number we are processing with. Now let's try to to display the content. Sum is integer number. For integer number, we'll be using percentage %d. This particular percentage %d is termed as format specifier. Now we'll be writing whose value we need. We'll be needing the value of c, which is the summation of a and b, which eventually leads towards the value 10 plus 20 equals 30. Okay, now let's build and run. Okay, cool. Here on this particular program, we're asking space allocation for 3 integer type numbers, and we're naming it as a, b, and c. A equals 10, b equals 20, and c equals summation of a and b. And here in this particular line, we have written sum is percentage %d. That is format specifier for integer numbers. Whose number we need? We need value of c, which is 30. And there is no artificial intelligence, just to be clear. If we write sum is integer number whose value we need a, then system will just provide us the information or value of a is sum is 10, so we need to take care of these steps ourselves. Sum is c. Now just in case if we need to display sum of 10 and 20 is 30, then what we'll be writing is sum of first integer number and second integer number is third integer number, a comma b comma c. So when we run this program, what happens is sum of first integer number whose value a, similarly second of b, and third will be that of c. Okay, build and run. Here we'll be obviously getting sum of 10 and 20 is 30. And one thing, all these are integer types, so we don't need to rewrite int each and every time. We just can declare all variables in single line by doing something like this: integer a, b, and c. Similarly, if we need to calculate sum of 3 numbers, we'll be writing a, b, then third variable will be c, whose value would be let's say 30, and d equals summation of a, b, and c. In that case, we'll be introducing here d, and let's write it as sum is integer number, and that would be of d. In this way, we can carry out the required operation with as many operands as required. Similarly, we can handle the case of subtraction and multiplication as well. That is, all the operations would be handled in pretty much cool and easy way. Let's try it yourself. For now, I'll be going with c equals a plus b. While beginning this particular step, I was blabbering, telling we're going to write meaningful program. But my dear friends, I don't think some program which will be adding 10 and 20 would be of that much importance to anyone. So let's change a bit. At first, let's just plainly ask for a special allocation for 3 integer numbers. Then what we'll be doing is we'll be asking the user to enter those numbers. Okay, enter 2 numbers. This would be pretty much fine. Slash n for next line. And then whenever we need to take user input, we'll be using another function named as scanf. Scanf will be doing something similar to that of scanner. Okay, scanf. Now we'll be writing format specifier 2 integer numbers, so we're writing 2% %d, comma. Now first number, where to store it, will be definitely storing it at the address of a and a, comma, second 2 and b. That is, 2 numbers would be stored at the address or space allocated for a and b. This will pretty much be similar to int a equals 10 and b equals 20. So now let's write the formula as c equals a plus b, then sum is integer number whose value we need, value of c. Okay, now build and run. Okay, here we go. Space allocation has been done. Then there is enter 2 numbers. 22. It's an integer number. Where do you store it? Please kindly place it at address of a or ampersand a. Now next one is 33. Integer number, address of b. C equals a plus b. 22 plus 33 equals 55. Sum is percentage d. Whose value in it? Value of c. Cool. Sum is 55. Okay. Now if we need to calculate the difference, so we can definitely do it like this way. Now difference is integer number whose value of c. Similarly for product, we'll be writing c equals a times b, and we'll be writing product is integer number whose value of c, and so on. Okay, let me place escape sequence lesson here as well, and here as well. Now build and run, and the work will be done. Into two numbers, let's write it as 10 and 5. Value of a is 10 and value of b is 5. C equals a plus b. 15, a minus b. 10 minus 5 equals 5. 10 times 5 equals 50. Cool. 15, 5 and 50. Now we'll be able to calculate any sort of calculations using this particular program. Now let me remove it and just stick to the summation process or addition. Okay, now up to this point we are able to calculate the sum. Now let's say we need to test various conditions, because life is full of conditions. So in that case we'll be using something like if and else statement. The syntax of if statement is if test condition is true, then do this, something like this one. So we'll be setting one test condition here. If this particular test condition is true, then execute this. Okay, for now I want to deal with the test condition revolving around the result of a and b. That is, if c is greater than let's say 20. If c is greater than 20, then just display the information like let's say sum is, well, come on, sum is, why I'm not pressing space key, sum is greater than 20. So when we compile and run, I'm pressing F9. There we go. Into two numbers, 22, 33, 55. Here the test condition is asked, is 55 is greater than 20? Obviously, and then it should display sum is greater than 20. Here it comes. Okay, now let's give some other input like 1 and 2, 3. Is 3 is greater than 20? Hell no. So sum is 3. Now for those conditions, what we can do is we can set another test condition like if c is less than 20, then display some information like sum is less than 20. Okay, cool. Now compile and run. 22, 33, 55 is greater than 20. It's not less than 20. So sum is greater than 20. Similarly, let's try to give some less values like 1 and 2. 3 is not greater than 20, so it goes here and asks, is 3 is less than 20? Yeah, so sum is less than 20. But normally whenever we are talking, we'll be telling if this thing happens, then I'll be doing this, else I'll be doing this. That is where if else statement fits in. If this particular test condition is true, do this, else do this. Okay, yeah, into two numbers, 22, 33, 55 is greater than 20, so it will be displayed, else block won't be activated. Sum is 55, sum is greater than 20. Okay, similarly if we place 2 and 3 is value of a and b, sum is 5 is not greater than 20, so it will obviously display sum is less than 20. Okay, greater than 20 doesn't always implies there are no other conditions other than less than 20 or something else. There ought to be many test conditions like else, if c is greater than what, 15. Okay, let's display some information like sum is greater than 15, and many more values could be placed, like let's write another one test condition as well. C is greater than 10, then display something like printf sum is greater than 10. If none of the above condition is satisfied, then we will be writing sum is less than 10. So here, if this test condition is satisfied, then execute this. Else, if this particular test condition is satisfied, display this content. Else, if none of the above are satisfied, then display this particular content. So let's try to compile and run this program. Okay, enter two numbers, 22 and 33, 55. Here it will ask, is 55 greater than 20? Yes, here. So it will display sum is greater than 20. But one thing we need to take care of is 55 is also greater than 15, and it's also greater than 10 as well. But whenever one test condition is satisfied, it doesn't test the remaining conditions. Sum is 55 and sum is greater than 20. Work would be done. Similarly, let's try to provide some other input as well, like 8 and 9. 17 is not greater than 20. 17 is greater than 15. Here this particular test condition is satisfied, so it will be displayed like this: sum is greater than 15. Okay, cool. Similarly, if we need to check some other stuffs like 5 and 7, 12, it's not greater than 20, it's not greater than 15, so obviously it's greater than 10. So let's try to give another input as well. 1 and 2, it's 3. None of the above test conditions are satisfied, so we need to go to the else condition: sum is less than 10. Okay guys, this is how we handle if-else statement in programming. I hope I'm not going too faster. Just in case if you're having some issues, then take a deep breath and try to catch up with all these stuffs. These are pretty much required on your journey in the fascinating world of programming. So after if-else statement, there is another thing termed as switch statement. Normally if-else statements are used everywhere and they are able to handle each and every requirements. But whenever we are dealing with large projects, then sometimes the normal use of if-else only becomes pretty much messier stuff. So for those clarity and uncertain way for managing the projects, we use another concept termed as switch statements. On switch statement, what's we need to do is we'll be obviously using the switch statements and passing these contents. Let's have a look. Okay, I'm removing it. Now what I'll be doing is I'll be declaring another variable as well. Now I'll be writing printf here, enter 1 for addition, 2 for subtraction. Now at first let's take the user input using scanf. Then there is 1%d format specifier for integer numbers, and we'll be storing it at address of x. Here the syntax of switch statement is we'll be writing the keyword switch, then the value of this particular variable will be passed here. Then just like the case if x equals 1, do this. Else if, we'll be writing case 1, that is if the value of x is 1, display something like what? Okay, printf we need to calculate the sum. So let's go with enter two numbers. Then obviously we'll be using scanf, then format specifiers 2%d, address of a comma address of b. then we'll be writing c equals a plus b, and we need to use again printf for displaying the result, that is sum is integer number, that is value of c should be displayed. Then in case of switch statement, we'll be using break statements, otherwise it will keeps on going to the next case as well. So whenever 2 is entered, we need to do the subtraction, that is difference have to be calculated. So again we'll be asking for 2 numbers from users into 2 numbers, then scanf would be there for taking user input, then there will be 2% d. Let's calculate the difference and let's display the result as difference is this percentage d whose value c. Then after that again we'll be using break statement. Now up to this point it's like if x equals 1 do this, else if x equals 2 do this, else. For this we'll be using default. Let's write something as invalid. Okay, cool. Now let's compile and run this program. Enter 1 for addition, 2 for subtraction. I'm entering 1, it will be stored at the place of x. Now switch, 1 is passed. Here it asks is value of x is 1, right? Then it will enter case 1, sum is 55. Cool. Similarly, whenever 2 is entered, subtraction has to be calculated or difference has to be calculated. I'm entering 22 and 11, difference is 11. Just in case if I haven't used the break statement here, what will happen is, let's try to compile and run. 1 for addition, 1, switch 1, value of x is 1, so it will ask enter 2 numbers, sum is 55, and again it's asking enter 2 numbers because we haven't used break. Break statements are used to break the program flow from one particular block. Okay, enter 2 numbers. So always make sure to use break statements whenever you are dealing with switch statements. Okay guys, this is how switch statements are handled in programming. I guess so far so good for you all. I'll be catching you guys in the next tutorial with some more stuffs and some cooler concepts in programming. I've good time being with you all, and I hope you guys really love being with this particular session as well. And keep on practicing and explore various aspects of programming, and make sure you guys subscribe my particular channel on programtalkies.com, and I'll be catching you guys on next tutorial with some more exciting stuffs. Till then, have a good time. Thank you.